Hello, my name is Baker Dave, and this is Baker Dave Presents. Today, we have a very special guest, Michael Scales. He is the Associate Vice President of Student Affairs, and he's going to be here to share with us his grandmother's recipe for coconut cake. We are here in a working kitchen. This is Johnson Hardwick. You're going to hear noises. People are going to be walking through. It is what it is. So let's just get baking. Today we have with us Associate Vice President Michael Scales, and he's going to show us his grandmother's recipe for coconut cake. So what's the story with the coconut cake?
This was a coconut cake I grew up with. This was my grandmother's holiday cake, so we had this at Easter.
So every holiday?
Every holiday.
Christmas?
Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving. That along with my mother's sweet potato pie.
You didn't get sick of it though, right?
Oh no,
Not
never.
too many holidays?
Nah, not every holiday though. And I mean, it's a good cake, so we were used to it. And unfortunately, my grandmother passed away 5 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
This month, and so this is
This
kind
is
of
like
a
an
commemorative.
homage.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Nice.
But it's a great cake. I love it, and this will bring back some good memories.
Do you remember like the smells? Like were you coming and playing? Like did she make it a lot at your house, or did you just showed up and it was already done?
We would show up. Sometimes it was done. Sometimes it wasn't. Usually
the batter, you know.
Usually the cake was cooling, so she had to ice it. So and sometimes we were impatient, which meant the icing ran. But
that does happen from time to time.
Yeah. What's wrong with a little sloppy cake, right?
Nothing's wrong with a little sloppy cake. All right, I want you to go through the steps here. What are we doing?
Okay, so we're going to start out.
This is all you, my friend.
With 3 sticks of butter. I've been warned that I need to have healthy wrists, so we're just going to dump this in there. Okay, and then we're going to put in 2 cups of sugar. So, and we're going to start mixing a little bit. So I think my elbows.
The butter's softened. It shouldn't be that bad.
And wrist is going to get, yeah, absolutely. And then we've got a tablespoon and a half of vanilla and almond extract. So I'm going to put that in. Maybe you think I should start mixing now?
I think you should start mixing. Yeah.
Okay, so.
While you're mixing that, what I'm going to do is, this recipe calls for both baking soda and baking powder, and I took the liberty to put the baking soda in the flour, so we'll mix that in later. I couldn't find any baking powder, so today I'm going to show you how to make baking powder, because that's something a little bit different. Not everybody realizes you can actually make baking powder. Baking powder is just 1 part baking soda, 1 part cornstarch, and 2 parts cream of tartar. So it's baking soda with the acid already in to make it react. Okay? Okay. So we're gonna do that real quick, because you do need some in here. So I'm just doing this by a tablespoon, just so you see that it's 1 part. It's actually 2 parts of cream of tartar. So I would do 2 tablespoons, right? 1 part of cornstarch. And 1 part of baking soda. That's why if you notice in recipes that have baking powder, they tend to be more. Like you'll have a ½ ounce of baking soda, but you'll get 1.5 ounces of baking powder. That's because there's still baking soda in it, just not nearly as much.
Got it.
Okay? So you would just literally mix that up like you would mix up anything else. And then, like for this recipe, what is it, a tablespoon?
A tablespoon, yeah.
It's a teaspoon of baking powder. And then that is your baking powder. So we have a teaspoon here. We're going to go ahead and add that in. Okay. Okay. And like I said, the other stuff was in there already. So we'll get that folded in. That part.
So maybe we should go with
I think the eggs are next.
Yeah, we'll get that nice and smooth and silky, right?
5 eggs. It's a lot of eggs for a cake. That's how you know it's good.
Yeah. Certainly, there are not many cardiologists that would recommend this, but you know, it's grandma's cake. So
it makes your heart smile, though, right?
Yeah, it does. It does.
A lot of times, what you'll notice with these cakes too. Go ahead. I'm just holding it. Yeah. Okay. You'll see it starts to separate a little bit. We're gonna add the milk in. It's gonna separate it more. It might even look a little bit like cottage cheese. Don't even worry about it. What that is you've got your softened butter, you've got your cold milk, you've got your cold eggs. It's causing the butter to re-solidify a little bit. Okay. When you add the flour in, it's all gonna come back together. It'll be just fine. Okay. We're gonna show them some cottage cheese here in a minute. Try not to get too much on me.
We'll keep the bowl down. How's that? No mixes
So you see,
here,
if you look at this, just real quick, you'll see it looks like it's separating a little bit. Don't even worry about it. You're good.
Okay.
Now we're going to add the flour in, and you're going to see it all come back together. With a little bit of elbow grease.
Whoops.
And a little on you.
Hey, I never said I was a neat cook.
Nobody is. Need some help with that? Are you wearing down? So as you can see, right? It's much smoother now. And it looks like cake batter, right? Not so cottage cheesy. Once you throw the Coke in, I think you can add that in. All right, we need to grease and flour the pans, right?
Yep.
So set that aside. And I just gave us a little butter because we usually have butter nowadays. You know, 50 years ago you would have used Crisco or something. That's what everybody had, but we don't have that now. And I personally, I usually use my hand or a napkin or something.
Me too.
Because that way I know I'm getting it in there, you know? And I'm going to say this recipe usually, I'm just guessing because it's one that your grandmother would have made. She probably didn't have 10-inch cake pans. She probably had an 8-inch cake pan, which is more standard, or a 9-inch.
That's correct.
Which is fine. So it's just going to be a little bit lower for us, which means it'll cook a little quicker, which means we'll get to eat it sooner. And then you would put a little bit of flour in there. And just coat it like you normally would. And then just divvy out half the cake. And this has got the coconut in it now. That's those lumps there. I thought this was a great recipe too because it has almond extract in it. You don't always see that in a coconut cake. Go ahead and just, you know, half of it in this one, half of it in this one, and we're going to throw it in the oven, all right?
Okay, that sounds good.
Or as close to half as you can get. I mean, this isn't rocket science, right?
Oh, got it. Let's see where we are.
I think you need a little more over here. That's good. And then just, you know, smooth it around. Look at you, you got your own technique. I'm not going to need to help you with that. And just slide it in the oven. And that's going to bake like any other cake. Like I tell everybody, till it's done. 350 oven, when the toothpick comes out clean or whatever, you're good. Like every oven's going to be different, so 35 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it's going to be.
So all right? So what's your opinion on eating raw batter?
Eating raw batter?
Yeah. It's not for me, but.
That's a good one. Obviously, as a culinarian and in the field, I'm strictly against it. But as a child at heart, I love raw batter. So you definitely have to be careful. Raw eggs, whenever you're dealing with raw eggs, you're going to have the possibility of salmonella. You're going to have, but I mean, you only live once, right?
That's right.
Raw batter is delicious. All right, so the cake is now out of the oven, and we've actually let it cool a little bit, so it's going to be slightly different than you remember as a child eating the warm, melty cake.
Yep.
Hopefully this will work out a little better. About this cake, right? To me, it feels very southern. Are you from the South? Is that where we're looking at here?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Winston-Salem.
North Carolina, nice.
In North Carolina. Very southern family where Sunday meals were huge.
That was an important part of the week, huh?
It was sort of like the staple meal of the week. So, you know, we would have stuff that was common in Southern cuisine: greens, cornbread, beans,
coconut cake,
you know, baked ham, baked chicken, that kind of stuff.
The more the better.
That's right. So big hearty meals that provided leftovers for a couple of days afterwards, and this was always something that we could look forward to. In fact, my grandmother used to bribe us with this cake. When I was about 13, she would get my brothers and I to come out and cut her yard for her, which was interesting because we had...
How big was the yard?
Pretty big. I mean, down south, you know, it's not uncommon to have a yard that's an acre or two.
That's a couple acres, right?
It's huge, but the biggest danger was avoiding her German Shepherd, which was out there, sort of like a guard dog.
You should have gave some of the cake to the German Shepherd.
He was just ornery. That's the best way I can describe it. He didn't like kids too much. So
no.
We had to get around it a little bit, but all in all, it was worth it.
One slice of cake? That's a lot of work.
Well, yeah. Or sometimes you would send us home with a half cake or something like that.
That wouldn't fly today.
It was worth it.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it wouldn't today.
No offense.
But I'd take that cake back any day.
For sure.
If she was making it. That's
Absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely.
All right.
So now we're going to work on the icing.
Yes, we are. So we're going to start with a pound of cream cheese and 2 sticks.
See, now I found this to be interesting because I've made coconut cake before, but I never had cream cheese in the icing.
Yeah,
I think that's a great addition.
Yeah, I think so too. And look, it works, right?
Obviously.
I think a lot of cakes today are actually being made with cream cheese. So
red velvet cake.
Yeah, yeah. So you have that carrot cake. You name it.
Right.
So you have that. Then we're going to put in about 3/4 teaspoon of pure almond or vanilla extract, and a half teaspoon of pure almond.
Almond, that's the other thing. This cake is laden with almond extract. I mean, you don't see that as much today.
No,
I think that's a great addition.
But it's old school, you know, and it's southern, so you know that's what we have. So, fortunately, this cream cheese has been softened.
Right, I did make sure the cream cheese was softened a little bit, so hopefully that works out for us.
So then we have a pound of confectioner sugar or powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar, right.
We're just going to put that in there.
That'll make it easier to mix in.
Yeah, and then we're just going to get busy on it. I might need your little elbow grease in a minute.
You're not used to doing this on a daily basis.
Oh, no.
You should just have, like next to your desk, have like a little bowl so you can mix every so often, you know, keep your strength up. This could be a whole exercise routine, really.
Or, you know, I could just put the Cuisinart to work.
Well, that's another option, obviously. I love, though, the fact, like the idea of being able to do it and, like, you don't need all this equipment. Everybody thinks you need to buy all the most expensive equipment from wherever. It's not necessary. This can be done with a bowl and a spoon. I mean, this is old school. How you doing? Are you need a little help?
Yeah, I think it's time to pass it over. This is where brute strength and technique collide.
So it's not too bad, but you want to be able to spread it. You don't want something that's so thick you can't spread it. That should be good.
That smells delicious.
Got ourselves some ice in there. Okay, so how are you at icing cakes? Did you ever get to ice the cake? Or
I never got to, so I wouldn't mind observing, but maybe I can pick up some tips.
About, this is what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to show where we put the two together and then allow you to work on the top. And that way, hopefully, you pick up on some of my techniques.
It sounds good.
I personally ice in every cake with an angled spatula, and this particular angled spatula was given to me like 20 years ago by a chef when I worked in Atlantic City. I thought I lost it twice. It was like the most devastating thing. This is my prized possession for sure. So what we're gonna do, we've got our coconut for later. That goes on the outside.
Yes, it does.
Whenever you ice the cake, you want to put way too much icing on it because you can always take it off. That way you don't have to take it off with cake crumbs in it. So I'm gonna put what I believe is too much icing. And the other thing you want to do when you're icing a cake is you always want to have a big wave in front of your spatula so that you're not dragging stuff around. So when I ice it, I'll literally push a huge chunk of the icing in front of it. And see how I never quite get past that wave? That wave is always there. Today I have a wheel, which you may or may not have at home. It's not entirely necessary. So I can allow, as I said, I take off whatever I don't need. So I can allow the wheel to do the work because I have it available to me. Because I know you need some of this for yourself, for the top. I'm going to try to, and this is a technique you're going to need on the top as well. I'll cut it in. You see how there's this extra pieces hanging out here? You literally just take the spatula and just cut it in. And just take off the piece that you don't want there. Okay?
So I'd imagine some people think that the top portion before you lay the top layer of cake needs to be perfect. But how much attention should be paid to just this before you lay the cake on top?
I personally think it's important to have your layers in the middle because that's what you see. When you cut a slice of cake, you're going to see if there's icing in there, and it's not going to affect your look, but it's going to affect how you enjoy the cake because you're going to have a different ratio of cake to icing, right?
Right.
So old school, as we're doing here. I didn't even trim it, which I would definitely have trimmed it if I was working on it normally. Just flip it upside down, gives you a nice flat surface to work with.
Okay.
Right? And the beauty of this cake too, I've noticed, you because the entire cake is getting covered in coconut, if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. It's still going to taste perfect, right?
Okay. Okay, so let me see if I got this right. So I put
way too much on.
Way too much. So
you probably just put the rest of it on, really. Because you're going to take off what you don't need.
So how about that? This stuff weighs a ton.
That's how you know it's good.
This is like a 3-pound cake. Okay.
That's good.
All right.
Now be careful with that thing. It's precious.
Okay. So I promise not to
Are
damage.
you left-handed?
Left and right, ambidextrous. So I get a wave going, right?
One thing I've done is that now I'm able to help you because you're working on it. I choke way up on this thing. I'll literally stick my finger on there and I'm pushing the cake around with this part here.
Got it.
Not with this part. That's a mistake. People will oftentimes go like this and not figure out why it's not going anywhere. You need some muscle behind it. You said yourself it's heavy.
Yeah.
So I choke up on it, put some pressure on there, and use this end as the part that you're pushing around.
Okay. Usually by this time my grandmother's finger's in her mouth. So wow.
We didn't do that today though. It's not bad.
But it's not good.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, you know, this is a great practice cake. You can do this cake 100 times, enjoy it, and if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world.
Well, it's not perfect, but it's going to be edible. Okay, so you want to jump in and like make this thing pretty?
I suppose I could help you out.
Thank you, thank you. Save me the embarrassment.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is fantastic. You gonna do the sides?
Oh no, I'll watch.
You're out?
I'll watch.
You're out.
We'll be here 15 minutes from now.
That's fine. I got all day. You just told me you had all day. So the same technique with the sides. You're gonna push way too much in front. It's like literally just enough icing. That's good. We don't need to waste. And again, with this cake, it doesn't matter as much. You definitely are putting the coconut on, by the way.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
I think you can handle that part.
I think so.
So I'm just quickly going over it. You can see cake coming through the sides. It will not matter. Coconut is going to be on it. It's still going to taste delicious. All right. Good enough.
So we're going to sprinkle coconut on the side. Now I'm wondering how I'm going to get on this wheel, how I'm going to get the coconut on the side. So
yeah, you're going to have to pick the cake up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's no way around that. The good news is I put it on cardboard, so it's not so bad.
So we just do this. And then
you're being all pretty and dainty with it. It's fantastic. That's good enough.
Okay. Then we just pick it up.
Pick it up with one hand.
Okay.
And you're going to do this, it's kind of heavy, but you're going to do this kind of like twirly motion thing as you're going around. You can handle that? And then you're going to take the stuff from here and you're going to just lay it up on the side. Nope. Okay. Like this, the other way around. Okay. I'll start it so you can see. So you're literally going to take it, lay it up there. Lay it up there.
That's easy.
Lay it up there. Okay?
Lay it up there.
Can you think you can handle that?
Yeah, I can handle it.
Lay it up there. Beautiful.
I think it's almost done. All right.
Excellent. Looks like Coke. Wow, that is heavy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's at least 10 pounds.
At least. So that's a workout in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right, we're getting ready now to cut the cake. Did you want to, maybe I could put my finger in it so it feels more like home and you're talking about your grandmother? I mean,
yeah. So let's cut this baby.
As a kid, would you drink milk with it? Get a milkshake? What's going on?
Milk.
Coffee?
Milk generally when I was younger. As I got older, coffee certainly.
For sure. So what I did, right, is, you know, I got us some nice china. We're going to have this on some nice china. You want a healthy portion?
I'll take a smaller portion. You know?
So about like that?
Sure. Wow, that looks That looks delicious.
Looks coconutty. I'll take the little one for me.
That looks awesome.
Did you want a fork?
No. Let's
That's
do
good.
it.
I don't use forks.
Let's go for it.
Cheers.
Cheers. I think Grandma would be proud.
That's delicious. I'm speechless. I can't even get another bite down. This is very delicious. You can taste the almond in it. You can taste the cream cheese on it. There's plenty of coconut in the cake itself. Like it's just, this is a coconut lover's dream.
It's delicious.
This is fantastic. Thanks for coming and sharing. Oh, don't worry about it, man. We're
Thanks
friends, right?
Me. Yes, we are. Thank you.
Thanks for bringing this recipe. It's fantastic.
Very good.
Once again, I'd like to thank Michael Scales, Associate Vice President of Student Affairs, for sharing with us his grandmother's coconut cake recipe. And remember, every recipe has a story. Join us next time for Baker Dave Presents.